we tend to say, sit still, stop, don't move your hands, don't touch that, stay focused, right? And that's just not just with the Zoom, that's in life, right? We tend to go to what are they doing wrong? Because that's what we're noticing. Life passes us by. When things are going well, we don't pay attention because that's our expectation. But in fact, children need, in order to strengthen what they're doing well, we need to give that our attention. So what I really want to talk about is how to give positive reinforcement to those behaviors. So even if you have a child who moves around the whole time and they're not listening, that they're the type of child who are moving and they're not listening, try to ignore as much as possible to a degree that, is not disruptive to the class, but try to find, if they're even able for a second, 2 minutes to sit and watch, give them a silent, positive reinforcement. Strengthen that behavior by giving, great job, I'm so proud of you, or an immediate an immediate positive reinforcement. Or even after the class, if they only spent 2 minutes in that whole class, or they said one thing, they raised their hand, they said one thing right after the class, you give them that positive reinforcement. Wow, you asked a really thoughtful question during that class. That was really impressive. I can't wait to see that again. Rather than spending the majority of the time on their misbehaviors, because when you are spending a time on correcting them, you're strengthening the misbehaviors. If you're spending time on the positive, you're strengthening the positive behaviors. So I watched this Child Mind Institute talk one time, and they were saying that, as a parent, we might be going along doing something and our kids are fighting, and that's when we intervene. And that's when we go in and they're expecting us to intervene. Rather, to strengthen the positive behaviors, you want to say, wow, you guys are playing so nicely. And then when they're arguing, let them try to work it out. That's where you ignore. And then after they've worked it out, praise again. Wow, wait, I'm really impressed that you were able to work through that together. So again, trying as much as possible to strengthen the positives by giving positive reinforcement.
Lara, you once said something really funny to me about the amount of positive reinforcements or positive feedback before you give the negative. And I think it was really funny. Can you repeat it?
My husband says this to me. For every negative, you have to give 3 attaboys for every corrected behaviors or something like that. He says something like that. But yeah, it was like, you got to have 3 attaboys. So as much as possible, giving the positive feedback, because we hear the negative. We don't hear the positive as much. We really internalize the negative, and we want them to start internalizing the positive as well.
Definitely. And I think that at times, there are instances where, despite the positive praise and despite, trying to give all of that attention to that behavior, there still are those moments where it's not feeling super successful, and it's still not feeling like the behavior you're seeking is happening, and you're questioning why, you're doing all of the things. And, if we were in a school building and we started to notice that with all the interventions in place, something that's really helpful at times is charts to kind of reinforce that positive behavior, that visual to see like, okay, I'm doing all the things I need to do in order to be successful, which is a really great tool to also have at home.
Definitely. I do want to talk about the tools. Before we talk about the tools, I do want to talk a little bit about the gradual release.
Yes.
But I also want to say, consistency is key. For the positive reinforcement, you are not going to see success right away. This is not immediate. This is going to take time. You are building their stamina. So the most important thing is to continue that positive praise. And even a lot of us will say, like, I do that. And I think I do. Up it. No matter how good you are at it, up it. Right now is the time to do more positive. Find those quiet moments. Find those moments of, he spent 5 minutes working on his writing. Amazing. You worked independently for 5 minutes. I am so amazed. What was successful for you about that? Talk to them. What was successful for writing that for those 5 minutes? Because the goal is to continue to build and to strengthen. So no matter what, up it.